Welcome to the recap of the match between Dignitas and Astralis on Mirage of the ESL Pro League Season 4. Astralis opened the T-side with a simple A-smoke execute. However, they got disturbed by Dignitas' push for information on ramp. Even though the defenders lost the first pick, Config stepped up and delivered the goods with 3 swift headshots, and Dignitas had no trouble to close out the round. The subsequent force buy and eco by Astralis was held off by the defenders, but the rounds were costly, only surviving with 2 members each. In their first buy round, the attackers took the same approach as in the pistol round, opting for a well-paced A execute. The resulting 4 vs 4 afterplan deemed too strong for Dignitas to retake, especially since Kirby had rotated into mid early, leaving KHMP no option but to save his AWP. It showed how expensive the early rounds were, as Dignitas were reduced to only 1 rifle and a pistol armor force to support their AWP. Astralis once again kept it simple, with a 4-man B apartments push and 1 member pressuring mid. The defenders found some frags, but it quickly turned into 1 vs 3 for Rubino.
Quite literally is. Dupree, though, will come around late from middle and take him down. It's going to be Rubino now to hold them both off. Gets the first shot quickly. Device will go down. He's going to push the Molotov as well, which they won't be expecting. Nearly caught Zipix. He actually could see him in that plant as a result, and he doesn't know he's in the side already. That's going to give him the kill and get the upper hand. Oh, and the tag comes in.
The following eco by the defenders allowed Astralis to even the score to 3-all. Dignitas was back on a buy and chose to play on the sides, leaving mid relatively uncontested, which was a welcome present to the attackers, who managed to get Dupree into connector. Even though the defenders had an inkling of this situation, the timing by Astralis was right on their A hit, and the aforementioned star found 2 vital entries from his position, allowing his team to take control of the site. Magic's boy was quickly left alone and managed to save his M4, which would be the only gun for his team the coming round. Astralis' anti-eco definitely had to be questioned, as they ran a default setup, meaning all of their members were spread across the map. Dignitas were able to punish this foolish behavior, and the round turned into 3 vs 3. Even though the attackers had the gun advantage, they were left on such low HP that the defenders could steal away the round. The score and the economy were evened out again, with 4 rounds and hardly any money left for both teams. Astralis once more opted for a default opening, and much like the last round, Dignitas found 2 picks in mid. This time, however, no trades were possible for the attackers. The ensuing A push by the remaining 3 was held off cleanly by the defenders. Dignitas finally built themselves a safety net, as they were able to convert the anti-eco round, keeping all members alive. 2 rounds behind, with the score at 6-4 to Dignitas, Astralis were back on a buy and took early mid control, supported by a good amount of utility. The defenders took action of their own though and found A ramp empty, telling them a B hit was likely. Dignitas was too eager to fight for mid and lost 2 members, allowing Astralis to pick up the 5th round as they closed out the round without much effort. Both teams started fully kitted out into the 12th round, and Dignitas took control over mid with the support of their utility, eventually finding the first pick into the round. Astralis mostly let them have their will. Sensing that A was weakened due to the mid presence of the defense, they pushed out of ramp. The attackers were happy to find a CT peeking, which allowed them to equalize. Astralis opened the strat book and decided on the round the world, as they switched to B. Their approach got halted by Magic's boy though, but in the meantime, Xipex found another pick towards A and the attackers were on their way back. Dignitas couldn't bring the round back in their favor, saving an AWP for the next. The attackers made the strained economy of the defense run out in the following round, as the straight up A execute couldn't be stopped by Dignitas, who instead of coordinating a retake, jumped through smokes 1 by 1, allowing Astralis a rather easy round win, which counted for 2, as they converted the ensuing anti-eco. Astralis seemingly had only 2 gears that night, switching between whether direct A plays or the default approach for mid control. Once again, they managed to sneak Dupree into connector, who would again open up the A bomb site for his team. Dignitas just couldn't find the necessary frags against the try hit, and Magic's boy had his try at the 1 vs 4.
Rotating in from the kitchen area, going to be coming towards the window room, but what's he really got to work with here? A flashbang, and no information as to where the residing C's are as the bomb is planted as well. Carrigan goes down though. An opportunity perhaps, as Carrigan and Dupree are very low HP.
No, indeed. Majestic Boy going to try and come back through. He's got to look to his right, nails that shot. But watch above as he flicks up faster to the left than me on Tinder. It's going to take down 1 more on top of the Tetris. He's going to try and hold this down. 4 seconds. This is surely not going to work. No way. Has he rotated the... Okay.
Oh, 1 second.
I saw it on your screen. I was wondering where Device had gone. I thought he rotated the wrong side around the box, but they'll pull it off. It's going to be 9-6.
Dignitas had a good start into the half, but once Astralis had found the rhythm, they struggled a good deal, especially with Dupree finding his way through connector. The defenders' play around mid left a lot to be desired, and as a result they were behind 6-9 after the first half. In contrast to their opponents, Dignitas went for a B execute on the pistol round, but their ample utility didn't have much effect on Device, who shut down the initial push with 3 headshots and the round fell apart for the attackers. Astralis now doubled the round score of Dignitas, as they held off the double eco by the attackers well, only losing 1 member in each round. Finally on a bye, Dignitas tried to find success in the same way that their bigger brother had done, and set their aim on mid control to help the eventual A attack. The defenders didn't give them ground though, and picked them apart rather easily, not losing 1 man. Astralis once again had an easy time against their eco opponents, and were still growing their economy, only giving up 1 frag. Dignitas' situation was dire, as the defenders were now 2 rounds away from taking the match. They were not out of it yet though, as their default opening resulted in an even trade of picks going into 4 vs 4. The round got very chaotic, and what ensued was a back and forth of frags as well as rotations. The attackers eventually came out on top, with Magic's Boy and Cation B winning a very tight 2 vs 3. As much as Dignitas struggled with the A split through mid, Astralis had their dear time with it as well. An open brawl ensued, and either side had members getting caught off guard, and the round in general was seemingly a chain of mistakes. Eventually the defenders prevailed, as Cibex denied Rubino the win in the 1 vs 2 clutch attempt. The attackers were reeling, as their money was almost non-existent, with the only hope being that Astralis also had to spend their entire bank. Dignitas did what every desperate team has to do, and opted for a repeat of their pistol round B execute. This time they found much more success, as Cibex was the only man present and he only managed a 1-for-1 trade. Astralis' attention had been caught by the few nades thrown in the mid by the attackers, and the remaining 4 were well out of position, and Dignitas closed the round. This secured them 2 more, as the defenders' economy was shattered and they picked up double digits. Apparently Astralis had enough of this game, as they made short work of the slow default of Dignitas in the following round, finding frags and trades in their favor easily, and the attackers had no say in the last round. In conclusion, one has to say that Astralis never seemed to be in danger to lose this game, especially not in the second half. They had a slow start, but eventually were able to punish Dignitas for the mistakes they made. The 16-10 scoreline might be considered to paint a better picture of Dignitas, as they scored a few additional rounds towards the end against Ecos, but overall delivers the right message, as they did put up a decent fight. Thank you for watching CS Recap.